Welcome and welcome back to the Kingdom Wealth Warriors podcast, where we equip kingdom minded believers with spiritual truths to walk in divine wisdom, wealth, and authority. I'm Deb Howard, your abundant life coach. Today, we are going to continue this powerful discussion that we've been having around money trauma. I always forget to put my mic in front of me. Around money trauma. Today, specifically, though, we're going to be talking about financial healing, right? How do we heal? We talked a little bit about money trauma. We kind of got into some of the limiting beliefs. We're going to talk more about that today. So if you've been struggling, today is your day. If you've been struggling with your finances, with stress, debt, or limiting beliefs, listen, go get your notepad because you're going to step into true financial abundance today. So let's get started. So what is financial healing? Listen, before we even get started, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt stuck in your finances despite making money? Now, I shared with you guys on my last episode that was me. I was actually making a decent salary at one point before I got, my whole life together. I was making a decent salary, but I was still having issues. Listen, financial healing is more than paying off debt. Now, that's good. I'm definitely not going to criticize you for paying off debt, but it's more than paying off debt. It's about breaking free from money trauma, shame, and fear. Now, if you joined me on the last episode, I was pretty transparent about about a situation really that caused me years ago some shame and even to some extent fear. Until we really deal with the healing, it's really hard for us to progress in our financial journey. We have to deal with the things that got us there in the first place, right? We talked about that we've got to get to the root of these things. So we know that some signs of having financial wounds include, and we talked about some of these already, fear of spending, even when you're financially stable. The thing about being financially wounded or suffering from the signs of money trauma is that you can get to a place where you're making money. I got to a place where I was making money, making decent money, but I still had a fear of spending. I didn't really know how to manage my finances, so I didn't know, for instance, about having a rainy day fund, making preparations and other things that I like to teach. I didn't know about those things. And so even though I was making money, I was always afraid that something was going to happen, that the bottom was going to fall out. And so I didn't want to spend too much money. And even though at times, spending, I had to do it because of choices that I made, I was still fearful of it. That's a sign that there's a financial wound there, that there's a wound that needs to be healed. Guilt over financial blessings, feeling guilty when things do start going right, or worse, especially for my entrepreneurs, not being able to receive. Yes, I struggle with that too. I had a hard time receiving from other people, receiving gifts. If you're an entrepreneur, you might have a hard time really charging what you need to charge. And I'm not talking about some extravagant rate. I'm just talking about us charging, you charging what the industry standard is, what competitors are charging, right? Just the minimal. Right? Because of the value and transformation you can offer. Constant anxiety over money, no matter how much you have, believing you're not good with money, feeling undeserving of wealth. There's a story in John. Some of you Bible people I'm sure all of you do, right? Because I'm always talking to believers, right? Know about that story of the lame man that was at the pool. Remember that story, the one where the angels would come and stir the water? Anyway, he was at the pool. Or I might be thinking of another story. But anyway, one of these people was at the pool. I think it was him. And Jesus asked him, do you want to be healed? I'm asking you this same question. Do you want to be healed? See, some of us are waiting for something magically to happen, right? We're waiting for, I don't know what we're waiting for. Maybe we're waiting to win the lottery. Maybe we're waiting for a good stimulus check from the government. I don't know. But instead of taking action on dealing with whatever the problem is, whether it's debt, whether it's management, whatever the problem is, we keep waiting. We keep hoping that somehow this problem will fix itself. But I'm asking you today, do you want to be healed? That's always the question that I have to ask people, potential clients, sometimes current clients. Do you want to be healed? Because you have to have a desire in order for it to come to pass. You've got to get, and sometimes we just have to get to the place of just being sick and tired of ourselves, right? I just don't want to live like this anymore. But it does require you to answer that question. Do you want to be healed? Do you want to be healed of those financial wounds, that money trauma, those limiting beliefs, whatever it is that's holding you back from living your most abundant life? Financial healing requires a mindset shift. Now, we talked about this, I think, in the last episode. So a man thinketh, so is he. What you're thinking, how you're thinking, your beliefs shape your behaviors. So I have to do the work on my thinking, on my beliefs. That's part of being healed. I have to believe that I'm healed, right? And then I have to do the work to retrain my mind, my subconscious, that I am more, right? That I am a wealth carrier, that I am prosperous, right? We have to begin to do the work. So it starts with a mindset shift. Healing begins when you start seeing your finances as a tool for the kingdom and not just survival. Come on now. Stop just surviving. This is really what I want to get over to you today. Stop just surviving. There is more. And there is more for you. It's spiritual alignment, right? Spiritual alignment is key to getting your finances in order. Align your money with God's will. And then you will start seeing an increase. When you align, I think we talked about being aligned with your assignment. Alignment with the assignment. Knowing what your purpose is. Knowing what God wants you to do. Knowing how he wants you to serve others. That's going to help you in your journey of financial healing, of learning to manage your finances, of even increasing your net worth, increasing the wealth that you are stewarding. So I want to ask you a question, and I think this is important. What's one financial belief that you've held on to that may be keeping you in bondage, keeping you in lack? One financial belief. Now, we've talked about some, but I want to give you a couple of others, right? Because I really want you to think about this. My favorite one is money is the root of all evil, right? This is a belief, and we've got to uproot it, and we can uproot it with the truth, because the truth is, I believe it's in 1 Timothy 6, that the love of money is the root of all evil. But the belief from this misinterpretation of that phrase can lead us to associate wealth with greed or immorality, causing us to subconsciously avoid pursuing wealth. You see, I know that I've heard that in my church life, and I know I'm maybe a few seasons ahead of some of y'all. But I've definitely heard that. And so I want you to understand, because we just finished talking about thinking. So if I believe money is evil, if I believe it's the root of all evil, then my belief, my subconscious even, is going to keep me from pursuing the fullness of my abundant life. Because my subconscious is going to keep reminding us, right? Listen, you can't get too wealthy because you going to sin. It's the root of all evil. So we've got to really deal with that if that's an issue. Now, that's an example, but that's a good one, right? Because a lot of people, I still hear people say that money is the root of all evil. To this day, 2025, I still hear people say that. Christian people. And it is not true. Money is not the root of all evil. Right? It's not. Right? It's not. It's the love of money. It's what we want to do with that money. Right? That's the root of all evil. That's why we want to align ourselves with kingdom principles, because we want to be aligned with God's will for the money and not other things. Right? Because the root of that is the love of money. All right. If we believe, and this is another good one, and I know here in America in 2025, when this is being recorded, that there's a lot of feelings about this. But another limiting belief, though, is rich people are selfish and corrupt. Rich people are selfish. Rich people are corrupt. They don't care about nobody. Listen. I know that the example of a few rich people may have really twisted our thinking about that. Because there are a lot of wealthy people, and if you think a few minutes, you probably could name a few that have done really good things. So rich people, being wealthy in itself, doesn't make you selfish or corrupt. But this belief, if you believe that, and I hear people say it, and I know you've seen it online, especially on social media. If you believe that, then it creates a negative association with wealth. It'll make you feel guilty or conflicted about wanting to be financially successful. I know you're probably saying, Deb, I'm just talking. I'm just posting, because this is happening, that is happening, and da-da-da-da. But remember, so a man thinketh, so is he. So if I'm thinking that being wealthy is evil, that all the rich people are evil, that everybody's selfish that makes money, then that is going to limit you from your pursuit. Because listen, believer, when you get the wealth, you're going to do kingdom business. Listen, you're going to be a blessing to others. You are going to have a positive impact on others. Even if you don't think other people do, you're going to be different, because we are aligning ourselves with kingdom principles. So I need you to stop saying that rich people are evil. I need you to stop saying that. I need you to stop saying that wealthy people don't care about us. I need us to stop making that distinction in our thinking, because this is going to hold us back. It's going to keep you from reaching whatever your goal is. We can't continue to call evil what is good. Okay? Just because some people misused or used in a negative way their influence and their wealth doesn't make the wealth evil. No, that comes from the heart. That makes the person evil. All right. So stop saying that. I really want to say that to my believers. Stop saying that. Stop saying rich people are evil, corrupt, don't have more. Stop. Maybe that person is, but it is not connected to the wealth. It's what they're doing with their wealth that's evil. All right. So I'm going to stop there, because I wanted to really point out, I got a bunch of them, but I really wanted to take some time to really dig into that, because I want you to understand that we've got to be aware of the words that we're saying, because those words are coming from our thinking. And our thinking, right, that mindset, right, is where our limiting beliefs are. It's where we're going to create. And we can create, and yes, we can create wealth, but we can also create poverty. Come on now. You can also create poverty in your life, lack in your life from your thinking. All right. So how do we walk in abundance? Enough of that. So number one, abundance is not just about money. I really want to say that because so many people will comment or send me a DM about money. All I care about is money. Abundance is not just about money, right? Money is the key component now. we want some money, but it is not just about money. It's a lifestyle, a way of thinking, and a biblical principle. You already know John 10:10. Yeah, I say it almost every episode. Jesus came that we could have life and have it more abundantly. Right? I'm going to keep using that translation. And there's some other translations that use words that mean the same thing. Right? He came that we could have life and have it more abundantly. And so abundance is not just about money. Right? Yes, we may need money. We may want more money because we have assignments that require resources. Okay? But it's not just about money. It's a lifestyle. Right? I love that. It's a lifestyle. And in my lifestyle of abundance, I speak abundantly. I think abundantly. I'm always looking for the more in everything. I don't have a glass half empty mentality. No, it's half full because that's my lifestyle. I'm a giver. That's my lifestyle. Come on now. So abundance is not just about accumulating money. It's about having a lifestyle, a mentality, a language. Listen, everything speaks abundance because God desires prosperity for us. And many times, as believers, we kind of struggle with that idea. Sometimes it's because of how we were raised. Sometimes it's because of, religious teaching. Sometimes something else altogether. But God does want us to prosper. We know because Deuteronomy 8:18 tells us that he has given us the power to get wealth. Why would he give us the power to get wealth if he didn't want us to be wealthy? Okay. So abundance, though, is not about greed. Right? We just said it's a lifestyle. It's not just about money, but it's also not about greed. That's why I don't want you to talk. I want you to stop saying rich people are greedy. Right? Because that's not true. All right. Abundance is not about greed, it's about stewardship. And stewardship is more than a budget. Let me get that out there too. Okay, it's not even, it's not that. All right, so it's not about greed, it's about stewardship. Abundance is about trust and not just wealth. Matthew 6:33 tells us that seek ye first the kingdom and all these other things will be added to you. So part of abundant living is living biblical principles and allowing the truth of God's word to flow in our life so that others may see the abundance that we're living in. It's not just money, it's also abundant joy, abundant peace, abundant laughter, abundance in relationships, abundance, listen, and invest in everything, investments. And whatever I'm doing, there's abundance. Because that's my lifestyle, right? That's my thinking. That's my mentality. All right. And so we know that wealth is not sinful, right? We already talked about that. It's not about the money. It's how you use the money. And guess what? The earth needs more believers to have money to use. How about that? The earth needs us. The earth needs you to raise your level of expectation, even in your thinking. Because there is much work to do in the kingdom, advancing kingdom principles, right? It's not just about church, advancing your business, advancing your stretch, your reach in the earth so that you can make an impact on those who have no idea about the goodness of God. All right, Lord, I feel like I want to do something. So how you use it is what matters. Are you using money to serve the kingdom, or is money ruling over you? Right? You the boss of money. Okay? Don't let money be the boss of you. Don't let money tell you where it want to go. You tell money where it wants to go. All right. And so we want to do that. So how do we maintain our financial healing and abundance? Because abundance is not a one-time event. I wish it was, but it's a lifelong mindset and discipline. So once we identify our wounds, our deal with the money trauma, get our healing, right? We want to live our most abundant life, but that requires us to continue using some principles that will help us even now as we are healing. And one is, and you know it very well because I keep telling you, speak life over your finances. My money is sanctified. How about that? It is set apart for use, right? For the use of God. Listen, I am a divine wealth carrier. I've been talking to you this week about some affirmations, declarations that you can speak over your life, because you have to speak life, right? Remember, the life and death are in the power of the tongue. Right? You know that scripture, Proverbs 18, I believe. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. So make a daily declaration. And here's another one for you. I am a faithful steward. I walk in divine abundance, and I use wealth to glorify God. How about that? Say it with me. Come on. Talk to me. I am a faithful steward. I walk in divine abundance, and I use wealth to glorify God. Come on now. We have to speak life. And we've got to stop being even fearful of talking about wealth. God knows, listen, it's in the Bible. Okay, let me not keep going over that. And then I want you to create an abundance plan. And you're probably asking, what's an abundance plan? All right, abundance plan, right, allows us to get away from that scarcity thinking and develop what you would typically call a budget. We're not going to call it a budget. We're going to eliminate the B word, because when we hear the B word, we immediately start thinking of limiting, right? Limiting ourselves, that we got to pinch some corners, that we got to all that kind of stuff. No. I want you to develop an abundance plan. That's what I'm calling it now, an abundance plan. Because what you're going to do is start with a vision of where you want to go. What is it that you want your money to be doing? Come on now. And work back from there. Listen, all an abundance plan does is allow you to direct where your money is going, because it should be going in abundance to the things that you want it to go to. Money is not the boss of you, but listen, if you don't tell it where to go, it will go places. I know you know that. And so I want you to start reframing your thinking around some of these things. And so when I'm sitting down with monthly to do my abundance plan, yes, I am going to look at what my obligations are now. If I have debt, yes, I am going to work towards directing more dollars towards that debt temporarily. Because my plan, my abundance plan, is going to allow me to get the abundant thing that I want, right? Whether it's a house, maybe you want to buy a home, maybe you want to buy a second home. How much is it going to cost? I really want you to do this. Get your target in front of you. How much is it going to cost? What kind of house do you want? Do you have a picture of the house? Do you have an idea of what it is that you want? How much of a down payment do I need? Am I going to how much is the closing cost? Listen, get the plan together, because now I want to develop my abundance plan each month so that sooner or later I can start directing more towards the thing that my money really needs to be going toward. Is it a business? Is it a ministry? I hear so many wonderful ideas that people tell me that God has told them to do. Women's shelters, hotels, airplanes. Listen, you need to be telling your money, getting your money in line with the vision that God has given you. So I want you to develop your abundance plan. Surround yourself with wealth building mentors, and you already know you got to be a giver, right? Giving opens doors, right? It breaks the spirit of lack in our life when we are releasing what God has given us, because it also allows us to understand that, listen, money is not an idol for me. I don't love money so much that I want to hold on to it. No, I want to have impact in people's lives. And so I'm going to use my money to have an impact. And then I want you to track and celebrate your wins. Listen, I know we've talked about a lot today, but I want you to do just that. Track your wins. Celebrate your wins. You paid off a credit card last month. Listen, you better have some kind of party. You better celebrate doing what you did. Come on now, right? Because each little step matters. Each step. I don't even want to say little. Take that word out. Each step matters. It matters because it's taking you closer to your abundant life plan. All right. So, family financial healing is a journey, but it is possible. Abundance is not just for the select. It's not just for the rich. It's not just for a few that were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. No, it's for you. It's a kingdom inheritance. Come on, believer. Our Father owns everything. The cattle of 1,000 hills belong to him plus, right? The earth and all that is within it belongs to him. So it is your kingdom inheritance to be wealthy. And it's time to shift from surviving to thriving, baby. It's time for us to come on out of, listen, I don't want to ask nobody else how they doing, and they tell me I'm just making it. I'm trying to make it. No, you're not making it. You thriving. You're not just surviving, you thriving. You're not just living, you living in abundance. You better start speaking to yourself. All right. So some final reminders on today. God desires for you to walk in abundance. Healing your finances starts with healing your mindset, and your finances are meant to serve the kingdom and not just yourself. Listen, I want to challenge you. If you're a journaler, I want you to journal one major financial belief you need to change. One major financial belief you need to change, and one financial goal that you commit to making in the month to come, right? In this month or the month to come, right? Depending on when you watch this. I want you to do that. And if you want, go ahead and share it in the comments. Listen, send me a DM. I'd love to hear from you. I want to support you and cheer you on as you go towards living your most abundant life. All right. So thanks for joining me on today. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Kingdom Wealth Warriors podcast. You know what I'm going to say right now, because I've said it several times already. Go have your most abundant day. I'll see you soon.